Hello everyone, I'm Greg Weaver. Welcome to the Audio Analyst. Pardon me. Today, I want to alert you all to something I see as an unparalleled opportunity to advance and elevate your analog playback system by a significantly accomplished and authentic degree, an opportunity that I personally have taken advantage of. Now, with the launch of the latest flagship LP transcription system from KRONOS, the Discovery, which I covered here on the channel, this defining moment in our industry will be looked back upon as not only the arrival of a new benchmark, but as a breakthrough achievement in the area of music reproduction in general, and a significant milestone in the hyper audio category specifically. This product advances the performance of LP playback to a level that is so substantial that PositiveFeedback.com believed that no single voice could adequately convey its potential, and instead deemed it more credible and essential to collectively share the singular impressions of three of its esteemed staff: Editor-in-Chief Dr. David W. Robinson, Maurice Jeffries, and yours truly, to convey the full and proper weight of this milestone accomplishment. In fact, in Dr. David W. Robinson's summation of that original triangulated assessment, he concludes, in sum, the Discovery turntable system is a historic achievement in the history of fine audio. The Discovery represents a one-in-a-generation advance in the audio arts. Louis Desjardins has, in my estimation, created a true watershed design in high-end audio that will set a benchmark for all other turntable designers to examine and reflect upon in their own work. Very well said, David. Now, I've included links to those three viewpoints on Discovery in today's description section. So, why take the time to revisit the significance of the Discovery here today? First of all, it is an utterly revolutionary accomplishment that should be celebrated as often as possible. But more to the point for today, the fact of the matter is that with the release of the Discovery, many former Pro Limited Edition owners have elected to step up to a Discovery, a decision that is generating a surplus of lovingly pre-owned Pro LEs for the taking. Believe me, I know from experience, because in September of last year, I replaced my exceptional KRONOS Sparta, its 10.5-inch Helena tone arm, and the Sparta Super Capacitor Power Supply, my reference LP transcription system for some 6 years, with a Pro LE, the 12-inch Black Beauty tone arm and carbon fiber arm board, and the Super Capacitor Power Supply 1. My time with the Sparta was, well, exceptional. My table genesis started in the early 1960s, when all I had was a Motorola compact system. By 13, though I had moved up in modular systems, it still wasn't anything to write home about. However, by late in my 15th year, I had made the move to separates: Sony speakers, a Rotel integrated amplifier, and a Girard turntable. Now, the exact path over the next 50-some years is a bit muddled, but it has included tables from Acoustic Research, Acoustic Signature, Basis, BIC, B&O, Empire, Girard, J.A. Michel, Lynn, Maple Knoll, Merrill, Microsiki, Miracord, Music Hall, Oracle, Philips, Pioneer, Project, Rabco, Redpoint, Rega, Soda, Techniques, Thorens, Transcriptors, and VPI. I'm sure there's others I've forgotten. But the KRONOS Sparta took me off that merry-go-round in the summer of 2015, only to be usurped by the former KRONOS flagship turntable, the Pro LE, last fall. Now, some of you may not be familiar with what makes KRONOS unique, or why, after more than 50 years of living with and modifying LP transcription systems, I have fallen so hard for the entire KRONOS product lineup. The most obvious trait of a KRONOS turntable is its use of two equal mass platters rotating at the identical speed but in opposite direction to each other. Louis Desjardins has been issued a patent on this uniquely suspended dual platter counter-rotating design. Now, what advantages does this unique platter system afford? Guys, this remarkably elegant approach provides a means by which vibration-inducing torque force present in all suspended turntables can be fully countered and eliminated. The result of this design is a suspended platform remarkably well isolated from environmental and mechanical noise and capable of maintaining unequaled stability. As of August 2021, the KRONOS product lineup includes 4 turntables. The $16,500 Sparta 0.5 with only one platter, the $24,000 Sparta, the $42,000 Pro Limited Edition, and the $100,000 Discovery, as well as 3 tone arms, the $7,850 10.5-inch Helena, the $10,000 12-inch Black Beauty, and the $17,500 Chronoscope. Now, a particular point of interest here is that as the base Sparta 0.5, the only non-signature single platter table in the lineup, there is an optional $8,250 upgrade kit that will convert it to the full contra-rotational Sparta for those who wish to take that path. There are also several other optional choices, things like carbon fiber arm boards, a compatible version of their supercapacitor power supply for each of the contra-rotation models, a dedicated 2-chassis dual mono tube phono stage, premium connection cables, and even custom stands and shelves. I have personal experience with all 3 of the counter-rotation models, having lived first with the Sparta and now with the Pro Limited Edition, as well as having over 20 hours in front of the Discovery. And while I have no personal experience with the Sparta 0.5, I have included a link to an exceptional review of that platform, written by one of my talented colleagues and friends at Positive Feedback, Maurice Jeffries. As well as being a gifted writer, he shares many of my sensibilities and passions about music playback. Spoiler alert. After he reviewed it, he bought it as his own reference table. Now, when I reviewed the Sparta Helena combination for the Absolute Sound, the experience set a new personal best for LP playback in my home, and by a significant margin. Perhaps the easiest way to give you a sense of what this remarkable system brought to the game would be to say that it was as though previously unnoticed veiling or smearing had been somehow completely circumvented. There was a surfeit of newfound clarity, focus, and specificity to instrumental voices, staging, and imaging. Additionally, something unique to the entire KRONOS lineup first emerged during my Sparta experience, as it revealed its distinctive sonic signature to me, a characteristic that I can best describe as deft agility. It specifically, and all KRONOS tables generally, seems to reconstruct fine detail and microdynamic events more accurately, sounding as if it were somehow faster and more coherent, offering a clearer, more articulate, more incisive voice, more clearly delineated spaces among instruments, more highly focused and concise images, more succinct fundamental tone, more faithful timbre, and richer, fuller, more authentic texture. I've mentioned the optional supercapacitor power supplies available for the contra-rotational models, and when the SSCPS, designed specifically for Sparta, was introduced in the spring of 2020, I jumped at the opportunity to audition it. Now, given my considerable experience with outboard power supplies over the years, and in light of the benefits I'd noted from the KRONOS Pro LE with the introduction of the original SCPS-1, I had expected improvement. But the degree to which Sparta's performance was elevated with its addition provided to be beyond even my wildest expectation. Low-frequency performance revealed both greater extension in the bottom octave, better defined pitch, and more substantive weight. and those attributes proved to be a broadband enhancement. Mid-range vividness and accuracy took on noticeably advanced nuance of texture and shading. Treble was even more delicately detailed now, clearly resolute, open, and full of sparkle and shimmer, giving this bandwidth an intoxicating genuineness. In a nutshell, its addition had expanded upon the overall semblance of realism, transporting me closer to the performance, substantially augmenting the illusion that what I was listening to was live, not a recording. Now, as much as I had appreciated the Pro LE from the dozens of times I had experienced it, I simply had never convinced myself that I should take that plunge. But after hearing the Discovery, and then learning that I could acquire a pre-owned Pro LE at such a considerably more agreeable price, I jumped on it. Parting with my Sparta, its Helena arm, and the SSCPS, let me move up to a Pro LE and a 12-inch Black Beauty arm and carbon fiber armboard. And my familiarity with the monumental enhancements that the SSCPS had brought to my Sparta, I went all out and opted to add the SCPS-1 for the Pro LE. And it all arrived one day before my birthday last year, so happy birthday to me. Briefly, weighing in at 90 pounds, measuring 22 inches wide by 14 inches deep, standing 11 inches tall, it is also comprised of a 3-layer chassis. All 3 plinths are formed by 2 meticulously machined layers of aluminum, top and bottom, bonded to a center of a dense composite material similar to bakelite. The top holds the LP platter and armboard, the middle holds the identical contra-rotating platter, and the bottom houses the touch-activated switching and LED speed readouts and the motor mounts, all suspended from its unique 4-posted, full-floating suspension, hung from special fluoroelastomer O-rings made from a Viton silicone mix. Each balanced encapsulated composite platter weighs 30 pounds. Each of the 2 Swiss DC motors uses 2,432 precious metal brushes and is housed in its own height-adjustable Delrin enclosure. Speed control is managed by a continuous open-loop feedback system using optical sensors on each platter, and each driven by a pair of Viton silicone string belts. Hi, baby. The bearings are advanced dual hydraulic isolated inverted sleeve and ball. So, is the difference worthwhile? God. Because the Pro LE is more massive and markedly more refined and advanced than even the superbly appointed and splendid Sparta, it takes everything to an entirely new level. As quiet and nuanced as the Sparta is, the Pro LE simply redefines what can be done here, presenting everything even more starkly, with a nearly non-existent noise floor. Microdynamic scaling, shading, and refinement are scary realistic in both their degree of expressiveness and the resultant authenticity that enhanced articulation delivers. There is an even more natural and authentic sense of tonality, broadband, providing a greater authority to the bass, more articulate, natural-sounding mid-range, and a more vivid and captivating sense of detail, shimmer, and sparkle to the upper octaves. Tonal color is depicted with even more vibrance, portraying instrumental characteristics more fully, more effortlessly, and with even greater individuality. Look, I could go on and on about just how good the Pro LE is, but let me say this for now. In my experience of some 50 years in and around this industry, at virtually every level of participation, with the exception of the sui generis Discovery, I know of no other turntable at any price that can compete with, let alone best, the Pro LE overall, and specifically in its ability to resolve dynamics from the most powerful of microdynamic scaling to the subtlest, most nuanced of microdynamic expression, and in its incomparable tonal purity, especially through the mid-range and lower treble. If you want to own one of the finest, most faithful LP transcription systems available at any price on the market today. I'd urge you to move quickly and take advantage of this unique and sure to be short-lived opportunity. Score yourself a pre-owned KRONOS Pro Limited Edition at this otherwise unbelievable and unrivaled price. As always, thanks for taking the time to drop by today. Don't forget to like and share links to your favorite episodes with your friends and on social media, or to post comments and questions. And be sure to subscribe to be notified about every new episode. Information on supporting the channel may be found in today's description section or at my website, theaudioanalyst.com. Please stay safe and keep the music playing. Till next time, cheers.